Judges, please welcome the team from Egypt, Cairo University.
Of significant history and
You have 1 minute left in your setup period. You may now begin your presentation.
Egypt, a nation that rose to power for more than 7,000 years, a land of significant history and magnificent civilization. Ancient Egyptians led the innovation in different fields: architecture, medicine, and astronomy. But that wasn't the only thing that the ancients did best. They were the pioneers in legislation and rights, enabling the ancient Egyptian women to have an equal opportunity as men, thus unleashing their potential to become judges, doctors, queens, to become Hatshepsut, Cleopatra, and Nefertiti.
But as the years passed, these women, whose grandmothers were once queens, are now deprived of their basic rights. Let me tell you a story of a place colonized by infections and diseases, a place where a huge segment doesn't go to work or school, and social segregation becomes their eventual fate. As a result, they run in a vicious cycle of illiteracy, unemployment, and morbidity. This is the stark reality for millions of Egyptians in rural villages.
أصرف على بيتي ولا أصرف على الدول؟ عم فدي برضه من المشاكل اللي تضايقني جدا، وده أي بنت إن هي مثلا تبقى ماشية وهدومها مبهدلة وهي مش عارفة تروح في مكان عشان تغير فيه، فما بالك أنت لابسة حاجة بلاستيك وسايباها 7 8 ساعات.
أنا خدت أساسا الإبر دي من 3 أشهر دي بسبب الدورة عشان الشغل. يعني كنت كل ما أجي أكون في شغلي ببقى مشكلة جامدة.
أنا لما بتعب ما بروحش المدرسة، فلما المستر جه يسألني ما بجاوبش.
According to UNESCO, 2/3 of women in our rural villages don't have access to sanitary pads. 2/3. Can you imagine the But a basic right that most of us take for granted can completely change females' lives. After conducting in-depth market research, we found that the issue goes far beyond accessibility, as 72% of women in rural villages don't have access to sanitary pads due to the currency devaluation and pads being categorized as luxurious goods, forcing 22% of adolescent girls to drop out of school annually. A small act of ignorance introduced a problem that hunts them down till adulthood, as women miss over 68 working days per year, ending up losing their jobs. The situation was challenging, but with our resilience, we, Enactus Egypt, accepted the challenge to provide these women with healthy, affordable sanitary products.
So we dug deeper into the problem to ensure that our work was human-centered. We spent 5,800 hours of ethnographic research and conducted 67 focus groups. Afterwards, our team interviewed all family members. We went to schools, clinics, and NGOs, all to reach a holistic conclusion to enhance females' lives. And during our design research, we learned that any product or service designed to address female sanitation definitely needs to tackle functionality, hygiene, and cost, as they are the most important aspects for women.
We started by ensuring the functionality, by searching for a natural absorbent to be the main component of our pad, where our R&D department found that banana fibers, bamboo, and wood pulp were the optimum choices. But based on our criteria, banana fiber is the most suitable, as it's 2 times more absorbent than the chemicals in other pads. Not to mention the abundant annual supply of more than 33 million discarded banana trees in Egypt. So by utilizing it along with Egyptian cotton and hydrophobic fabric, we designed a highly functional sanitary pad.
The next step was to ensure our product's hygiene. We tested it for bacterial count, absorptivity, and fluid retention. And the results were in our favor, as it got accredited by the Egyptian Ministry of Health, exceeding all the quality standards. Left with one more aspect for the launch. We built a minimum viable product to ensure an affordable cost for our target segment. And after several iterations and product development, we launched Rosy Pad for only 7 cents, making it cheaper than the most economical alternative by 70%.
And since our planet is a top priority, we developed our pad to be zero plastic. In fact, neither the packaging or the product produce waste, as they both degrade after 9 months. Then it was time to test our product's desirability. So we headed back to the villages and handed out samples for 1,200 women. And the feedback was outstanding, as 89% of these women showed interest in our pad, ticking desirability off the list.
And that was the beginning of our tale of Rosie, a self-sufficient social enterprise offering a high-quality organic pad made by women for women through establishing a business model that consists of 3 essential pillars. First, local community access. Menstruation in the Egyptian villages is perceived as a taboo, and approaching the women in these areas was an obstacle. So we needed a key to open the gate to their communities. The key was the local community centers in the marginalized villages to help us reach local women in need for income while also providing us with a manufacturing venue.
Leading us to the second pillar, manufacturing, where we recruit unemployed women and empower them with a full training program in partnership with the Faculty of Pharmacy at Cairo University, including intensive sessions on the manufacturing, sterilization, and precautions needed for production. Then, we connect our female entrepreneurs with raw material suppliers, and once they are qualified, our Rosie's local manufacturing hub is ready to launch.
For the last pillar, we focus on traditional trade sales strategy, relying on local outlets to be our primary channel. But at the beginning, our market penetration wasn't as we expected, as the sales volume was low. So we conducted advocacy campaigns in collaboration with the Ministry of Health on sanitary hygiene and the importance of using pads, along with the street marketing activities, including ushering and flyers distribution.
As a result, the served available market increases. So we adopt a trade market strategy in which we connect Rosie's hubs with various distributors, expanding our network to include all the surrounding villages, hence increasing our target market. Our value chain is then complete, successfully connecting Rosie production hubs with end female consumers. Along Rosie's model, the 7 cents are distributed into 1 for facility, 2 for suppliers, 3 for our female entrepreneurs, and 1 for retailers.
A few weeks after launching, we had a sheer number of women who are willing to change their lives, which encouraged us to turn Rosie into a sustainable, scalable enterprise, where we replicated our business model in different governorates. Moreover, through Business Fundamentals and Training of Trainers program, a central hub was established in each region across the country, acting as a main branch that is responsible for recruiting women, planting new hubs, as well as managing the supply and quality control. Today, we are proud to say that Rosie has become a self-expanding model, and so far, our central hubs have initiated 12 new hubs in 9 governorates in Egypt.
And since barriers cannot stop our contribution, we took our partnership-based model, Rosie, deeper into the sub-Saharan Africa, the most lacking region of sanitation services in the world. Seizing the opportunity of available cheap raw materials, we established a central hub in Sudan and Uganda through developing an online handbook that consists of comprehensive tutorials to hand over the know-how of production and sterilization of Rosie pad, as well as marketing and sales strategies, making Rosie widely growing independently in various communities.
Our success is reflected in several villages, as more than 50% of the women are currently using Rosie pads in some of them. And in only 6 months, Rosie has achieved outstanding results in Egypt, Sudan, and Uganda. We created job opportunities for 105 female entrepreneurs, produced more than 110,000 Rosie pads, covering more than 30% of rural villages in Egypt to solve the accessibility problem, securing a monthly income for our women equivalent to $77, doubling the average salaries in rural villages.
It didn't stop there. Unilever, one of the largest consumer goods companies, approached us to expand the distribution of Rosie nationwide. And by the end of this year, Rosie's model would have generated a total revenue of $52,000 for all our beneficiaries. And after conducting our post-survey, we're glad that our pad consumers became able to work 5 more working days per month, leading them to earn a total extra income of $720,000.
We also tackled the root cause and made sure that Rosie will impact the upcoming generations by creating the first curriculum on health education in Egypt to be delivered to the adolescent girls in schools. By partnering with the Ministry of Education, our curriculum will be included in the official preparatory schools all across Egypt, reaching 6,000 schools and impacting more than 2,400,000 adolescent girls annually.
This is not the end of our story, as Rosie is now a national sensation supported by the Egyptian government and media. With an annual 33% sales growth rate, Rosie will have more than 65 production hubs, with the channels covering all across Egypt by 2025. Empowering more than 570 female entrepreneurs with job opportunities, generating revenues by $1,020,000. And for outside Egypt, we will empower 20 production hubs in 5 more African countries.
To sum up, this year, armed with entrepreneurial leadership, we believe we can take business to a cause driven by innovation to solve the issues of our societies, tackling 12 UN SDGs, impacting 60,000 directly and 550,000 indirectly.
We believe that people could give rise to their communities, so we empowered 105 female entrepreneurs with job opportunities through 15 Rosie's manufacturing hubs in Egypt, Sudan, and Uganda, with a monthly income of $77, making it a self-sufficient social enterprise.
We believe we can drive our innovation towards the planet, so we produced over 110,000 healthy, organic, eco-friendly pads, utilizing banana fibers and upcycling more than 17,000 banana trees.
We believe we can create a sustainable impact through our project, so we covered 30% of the rural villages in Egypt with our distribution channels, secured an extra income of $720,000 for our Rosie pad consumers, and raised the awareness of 264,000 women on menstrual hygiene, as well as providing 2,400,000 adolescent girls in 6,000 schools with a health education curriculum.
This is what matters. The impact of our projects. How will it change people's lives?
Because for us, an idea only deserves to exist if it does make a difference. We spend a lot of time on few great ideas until every idea we come across enhances the lives it touches.
We are incredibly proud of sharing Rosie today with you. It's a great example of what Enactus does best.
This was just one out of 3 tales of empowerment we dedicated our lives to this year.
Innovation, passion, and persistence are more than just words to us. They are the values we live by.
values that drive us to wake up every morning, believing that we can make a change.
The values that push us to go further.
You've seen them reflected in our project today, and you will continue to see them in our projects in the future.
There are still so many barriers yet to overcome. A lot of hard work yet to be done. But
Thank
for us,
you,
Enactus
Egypt. Your
The
presentation
journey has
time
just
has
begun.
expired. We will now begin the 5-minute question and answer period.
Absolutely, wow. So congratulations with this performance. I have 3 questions. The first one, what do you think is the brand positioning of your brand, Rosie? The second one is, where is the biggest capacity constraint in your total supply chain? And then the third one, if you think about the capabilities for your business, which is the one where you think you have the biggest gap versus just becoming market leader in this market in Egypt?
Sorry, but can you repeat the first question?
The brand positioning for the brand Rosie.
Okay, so we do have a spectacular brand positioning for our product, because when we had a need assessment in those villages, we found that these women use towels and rags. And then when we did further need assessment in all the villages that we went to, we found that there was the usual brands that we use. They were very expensive for them, they weren't affordable. So they didn't have accessibility, they didn't have the affordability too. So when we introduced our product that is produced in the central hubs there, it's very affordable, it's very accessible. The women there are more than glad to use it, because as well as it's 100% organic, it's zero plastic, it's very safe for them, it provides them with more working days. So speaking of our brand positioning, I think it's doing pretty well there. Thank you, I hope it satisfies your request.
And can you repeat the second question, please?
The second question is the capacity constraint in the total supply chain. Where will you have the biggest issue if you scale it up?
For the sustainability, I believe this is your question. We have a central hub that is responsible for the other hubs underneath it. We established a central hub in several regions across Egypt. And the central hub, we have empowered it with TOT and business fundamentals, including sales and marketing strategies. And then so the central hub is able to empower women on its own and implement hubs totally on its own without any help from us. The central hub will also control the sales, will give the raw materials distribution for the other hubs. It will also assign an internal audit in each of the other hubs to make sure of the quality control and to ensure the sales and day-to-day procedures. I hope this satisfies your question. The third, can you repeat? I'm so sorry. I just forgot that.
No worries. If you think about what is the biggest capability, whether it is in marketing capability or whether it is in supply chain capability, to get it towards the market leader in Egypt.
Thank you for the question. Actually, about marketing leader or our marketing plan, our project Rosie go through 3 years a quarter. First quarter, we just developed our product to be up in an affordable price for our target segment, to make sure that our product is product market fit. Then we established our first central hub, but our sales volume in this quarter was low, as we only sold 5,000 baht. So we started our second quarter by promoting our product in the villages, which we initiated our first central hub by on-ground activities like offline ushering and distributing posters and so on. Also conducting advocacy campaign. Then we expanding into 9 governorates all across Egypt. Then our sales in this quarter increased into 20,000 baht. So we started our third quarter by partnering with Unilever to expand our distribution channel all over Egypt and to make sure that our product is accessible into the deepest areas in Egypt. So our sales in this quarter has an exponential growth rate. So we increased into 85,000 baht. But this make an increasing demand for our product. So we started our first quarter, which we are in now, by collaborating with many Egyptian associations to to provide us with a production machine. This machine is semi-automated machine would increase our women production capacity 5 more times, so we could meet this increasing demand with our new capacity of production. So with the increasing demand and our production new capacity, also our sales growth rate, we could achieve by the end of this year a total revenue of $52,000. I hope this satisfies your question.
The question and answer time has expired. Judges, please join me in thanking the team from Egypt, Cairo University. We will now take a quick 12-minute break. All judges, please be seated before the end of 12 minutes so that we may resume